Elminster sitting in the group stage at 8 and 3. Illus at 4 and 6. And we're getting started. Elminster is in a pretty good position to advance to the bracket stage, while Illus pretty much needs to win here to stay in it. And we got a heart container right off the bat.
That'll certainly be nice in hard mode. There's going to be a lot less health upgrades that are going to be found in the item pool. I think like the max is like 12 total heart containers if you find them all. And then another 4 that are provided by Retro.
Yeah, that's one thing about retros. You can actually get more than the maximum for hard mode, which is normally 14. But with those 4 extra, you could, if you got all of them, get up to, I guess, 18.
And we have a
cane of Burna to start.
Yeah, and flippers.
Cane of Burna is probably the worst item to be starting with here because it does not give you invincibility.
Well, at least the bombs are in the prize pack for the guards. Elminster does have a bomb, so he'll be able to check those 3 chests in the back of Escape. We'll see if Illus finds a bomb drop as well. I'm suspecting he will.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And there's our key in the first chest.
So, for those who are asking, what is Retro? Retro has a few key differences. Well, pun intended. The first is the fact that the keys are global. When you find a key, it is good in anywhere where there's a key door. There's fewer keys that have been removed. There's some keys that have been removed from the pool, and you can instead buy them from shops. Another difference with retro mode is actually the bow. The bow requires rupees to actually be fired. We're supposed to also find wooden arrows in a shop, and you have to buy those for 80 rupees before you can actually use wooden arrows. And then your silver arrows are also another type of arrow that you can find, just like normal, and then you can switch between the two. Wooden arrows cost 10 rupees to fire, silver arrows cost 50 rupees to fire.
And we got our bow already.
So with it being hard difficulty as well, even if our runners do find the silver arrows, they won't be able to use them until Ganon anyway. So there's that. So they'll only be using wooden arrows.
Long Road Gaming, I don't think it has been fixed. There was a bug that sometimes lets you fire arrows before buying the upgrade. Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's been fixed, but I don't think it was.
They could run in a scenario where, so let's say, I'm not sure how this would work if you're relying on the arrow bug, and then you find the silver arrows, you could end up yourself without a bow until you actually go buy the wooden arrows. So it may be advantageous just to buy the wooden arrows.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think they still won't be able to switch to the silvers until they've bought the wooden arrows, and that's also part of the bug. Yeah, all the arrow drops have been removed from the item pool and they're replaced with rupees.
So there's... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, any pot where you would normally find arrows, you'll find rupees instead. And-
Elminster finds the gloves.
Yep. So we got a pretty loaded escape so far.
And Illus is burning through magic on this cane trying to find some bombs.
Yeah, just gonna make sure he has enough to kill this rat.
Mirror, another key, and bombs.
Of course, with the gloves, it's not such a big deal because you can get back there pretty easily. But if he hadn't found the gloves, that mirror he might not have gotten for a while.
Oh, I'm certain once Illus gets some bombs, he's coming back over here.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to see some standard overroll checks, early game overroll checks from both of our runners. Illus might go up and check out the blacksmith, or not blacksmith, but lumberjack cave. And it looks like Elm is also, nope, he's not doing the same. Some fancy footwear. So we found boots, and both of our runners will be getting those fairly early. And there's Illus's bombs. He's probably wishing he had those like a couple minutes ago. So, just to recap here quick, this is all dungeons, standard mode, swordless, hard with retro added on top of it. This is certainly going to be a set of flags that we're going to remember here for a while.
Yeah. This was the random pick, by the way. It's game 3 between these two. Elminster vetoed normal difficulty, and Illus vetoed key sanity.
So, on the swordless side of the house, Elminster did find one of those 20 rupee drops. That was what the swords got replaced with, and since this is swordless, well, you don't get a sword.
Yep. Yeah, 20 rupees doesn't feel like a whole lot of compensation.
It's 2 arrows.
Yeah.
Really, with retro, money management is going to be a big deal for our runners.
Yeah, even more so in swordless. Since you're going to be tempted to want to use that bow maybe more often. It wouldn't surprise me to see these runners just stop and farm rupees at some point for a while. Oh, yes. That's the other thing. So those take any caves. Those can appear in any house or cave that is a single entrance. So it could appear in, some of the houses in Kakariko or any of those fairy fountains, and they'll only be cave locations where there are no items or progression. So it could replace things like that cave near desert where you get 50 rupees. And Elminster picks up a key there from the shop.
That's another important thing with retro mode, is also your small key management. Knowing how many keeping track of the small keys that you have, knowing when you need to buy keys, knowing when you don't need to buy keys.
Yeah.
That can mean it.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
They don't really have money for the arrow upgrade yet, but I imagine they'll want to farm some. And yeah, the take any caves they may not bother with since they aren't going to need a sword anyway. Elminster wraps up Kakariko, and he's coming down towards the south shore. Uses that little glitch with the mirror that allows you to delete blocks out of the way. Saves him an extra trip into the dam.
It's a fun trick to show somebody for the first time.
Yeah.
And then all you do is say, just mash Y. That's all you got to do. Literally free.
Yeah.
Just don't do it in a dungeon.
Yeah. Ill's gonna look in the bonk rocks while Elminster's gonna do mini Moldorm cave. And we got a heart container. And Illus is going to go grab his mirror as Elminster finds a bee in a bottle.
No, I think he's in a Houlihan.
Oh, he's doing a Houlihan. Yeah, I imagine Elminster will probably... Oh, he didn't get it. Well,
he may have been... He figured it's a harder Houlihan to set up, so he figures if he gets it, then he has money. And if he doesn't get it, well, he can just do these checks.
Yeah, that's true. And Elminster's going to go check out the water locations and finds a moon pearl. Still looking for that all-important hammer, but we do have quite a bit of items early on.
I mean, a light hammer would be kind of annoying in this mode, because you're going to end up relying more on the bow to do your damage.
Yep. Looks like Illus is going to go turn in that mushroom.
Probably then pair this into a check with the Zora area while he's at it.
And Elminster makes his way to Ice Rod Cave. Just some rupees.
Speaking of hammers.
There it is. Alright, hammer on the mushroom.
So, Elminster already did his Zora checks, so he may not want to turn in that mushroom for a while.
Yeah. So right now he's doing a water walk, which is a glitch that you can set up with the boots, and he sees that the flute is sitting there on Hylia Island. And with the mirror, they can get that as soon as they have Dark World access. Which actually, well, we do already. Between them, they have Dark World access with the hammer and glove. And Moon Pearl.
Yeah, once Illus decides to go to Waterfall Cave, then yeah, he'll have his dark mode, or dark world access, or dark mode, I guess. Words.
And Illus is going to the 50 rupee cave. Yeah, and it's not a take any, so he can farm some rupees up here. I imagine he'll probably do this a few times. I'm finding Blue Mail and the Cane of Samaria in Sahasrara's closet. Those are both nice.
Yeah, Samaria will be really nice when they fight blind. It's probably one of the better items to use on blind and swordless.
Yeah. Yeah, especially where the Cane of Burna does not give you invincibility. Otherwise, that would probably be the weapon of choice.
Mm-hmm. So Elminster is going to make some quick work of Eastern.
He has not bought the wooden arrows, has he?
No, he's probably relying on the use of... He's probably going to use the glitch.
He doesn't have that many rupees. So the arrow glitch is a glitch in the current version of Retro that allows you to fire the bow without having bought the wooden arrow upgrade, which normally you're supposed to buy. So that glitch will be fixed in the next version of Randomizer, but it is going to be in play and allowed for this tournament. Of course, part of the problem is that you can't switch to the silver arrows if you haven't bought the wood arrows. So they're going to want to still buy them before they go to face Ganon. And there's our third 20 rupee sword.
I think Elm did a quick check there to see if he had either the compass or map. If he had neither, then he knows that he could skip this chest, but in this case, he did have one of them. So he'll have to go and...
I think he will go... there's actually a rarely seen rupee room in Eastern, but I think he might just go in there since he does not currently have enough rupees to kill Armos.
If he had more magic, I think a single full magic bar, you could probably use Burna to kill him.
Yeah, he's going to have to find magic though.
We'll have to see how he handles this. He also doesn't have the lamp, so this dark room will be slightly trickier than it would otherwise be, but I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how he handles this.
Get some health first.
And he did not get the hammer either.
Yeah.
He has to go back out, back in. That'll
Yeah,
reset
doing this sword. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Doing this out of sword is really tricky.
Yeah, and he's down to half a heart. Actually, he's just gonna give up. Yeah, I think he regrets that decision. It takes a second to figure out where he wants to go next, but he's starting at the Sanctuary. He's gonna do these boots locations, I guess. No? He's gonna go up Death Mountain. Okay, now he remembers the boots locations.
Ah, that's some health. That'll be nice.
Yep.
All right, Illus is gonna get his Moon Pearl.
Yeah, so he'll be able then to go and get his flute. I imagine that's the first thing he'll do. He's going to throw a bottle in the fountain, which will give him something random inside. Green potion, that's not bad.
I'll take it. It's better than a B.
Elminster, just get bombs from the old man. He has the mirror, so he can go up to Hera, but he's not going to be able to clear it without a hammer. He can't even do the basement without fire rod or lamp.
Yeah, and he's out of sequence as well. Like, the game is expecting him to have the lamp right now, or a flute. Excuse me, not lamp.
So looks like he is going to go into Hera. This will be his second double dip. Meanwhile, Illus hasn't been inside any dungeons yet.
All right, what's going to be in Hype Cave this match?
Elminster does find the Ether Medallion in Hera. And wow, that was a completely empty Hype Cave.
Hey, Illus did complete a heart container.
Yeah. Map and a compass is firelocked in Misery Mire. So that's good to know.
We know where Elminster won't be going in Mire.
And Illus is going to pick up his flute here. So the flute being locked behind, well, the mushroom basically. Well, the hammer's locked behind the mushroom. So turning in the mushroom, often you want to wait for the flute for it to make it a quick trip, but you need to do this before you get the flute.
I think
so Elminster's finally going to get his hammer here.
Yeah, that's gonna tie up this match.
Bill's gonna activate his flute now. And one thing I have heard, and I think this is true, is that when you get an early fetch quest, you often want to turn it in pretty quickly because it's usually a good indication there's something important there. And in this case, it was only the most important item in the game for Swordless. Illus buys his wooden arrows and a key. He's going to grab a couple of keys, actually. He might be planning to go to Pod.
Well, with the equipment he has, yeah. He needs at least 4 small keys in order to fully clear pod if he skips a couple of doors by hammer yumping and skipping the front door. In retro, because all the keys have been taken out of the pool there's a lot more potential item locations in pod.
Yeah.
You just basically add 6.
Yeah, so 11 items in pod. It's extremely valuable dungeon now. Skull Woods also gains quite a bit of value since there are 3 small keys and chests there. So that adds 3 extra items to Skull Woods.
Yeah, Mire also has a lot more value too, because that's also 3 keys there. Especially since you don't need any Mire small keys to actually finish the dungeon.
Yeah.
The ones under pots are enough, assuming that you use your keys well.
I've been watching Elminster's timer. It's really kind of bizarre. Let's find some blue goo in the village of Outcast. Now I'm needing a lot of digs here.
I suspect he'll probably pay the archery game a visit too.
Yeah. Didn't... Oh, okay. He got the item early and just was farming rupees.
Yeah, he knows it wouldn't despawn, so he wanted to spend all that time actually farming rupees.
Meanwhile, Illus found a blue boomerang and another heart container in Thieves Town.
The boomerang does not stun on hard difficulty, right? It's just the hook shot?
Yeah, the boomerang's really only good for hitting switches and maybe grabbing items or grabbing drops that you can't quite reach. Bill's gonna head into the back of Thieves Town. One interesting mechanic you might see in this game is stealing keys. So especially in dungeons like Mire or Skull Woods, where there are extra key drops that you don't need, you might see them just steal those keys to use on other dungeons.
Alright, and I saw a pendant at Turtle Rock from our map check.
Oh, I missed the map check.
And I think we had a 5/6 crystal at Skull Woods.
Yeah,
and
with this being all dungeons, the map checks are not super important, so the players probably aren't going to spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah, it's still useful to know where those 5/6s are at.
Yeah, as well as the green pendant.
And I think the rest of them look like they were crystals. I didn't see to their pendants. In the Dark World, at least.
So, 5 item locations in Thieves Town instead of the usual 4. Illus makes his way down to the basement. I wonder, did he get all the items? Will he bring the key here? Yeah, he is going to go and use the key to get the one item in the big chest. Just a map.
So blind has an item. And Illus
Yeah,
is going to
well,
have to do that. Yeah, so go ahead.
Oh, I just saying, yeah, I would assume.
Yeah, and he'll have to do him blind with the hammer, whereas Elminster will have the luxury of using Samaria.
Yeah. I wonder if Illus might switch to the Cane of Burna. You see Blind's pun there?
I missed it. I'm blind.
Says, I peg you as a fan of the hammer. Looks like Illus is going to use the Cane of Burna. It's much trickier here with... He's got a bottle of Blue Goose, so that'll really help.
Oh yeah, he's good now. The blue goo bails him out.
Just a blue rupee.
Oh, so that was our green pendant. Okay.
Alright, so that's one extra item they can get later.
Yeah. So I miscalled that. I'm blind.
Illus gets run into by a thief. And Illus is going to run into Skull Woods, it looks like. So in Skull Woods, there will be 5 possible items instead of the usual 2. Almost got wall mastered there. Elm's going to do the blind fight. Let's see how he goes about it. He's just going to use the hammer.
So the hammer has a deceptively small hitbox on it.
Yeah, especially when you're hammering up as opposed to down or to the side. For whatever reason, hammering up seems to have a smaller hitbox. Finishes it off with a nice Samaria block.
And I think we're done with Skull Woods. Maybe. Nope. He doesn't want to burn a key.
Yeah. So you might go down through the bottom to get the key from the chest there.
Yeah, he could grab that key, and then if he's not interested in the rest of this area, he could just save and quit out.
Yeah, I mean, without the fire rod, there's not much else to do here. You could still do, I guess, the Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb, so you might run over there to do that.
Looks like he's gonna save the key.
Oh yeah, that's clever. Alright, where's Illus gonna head now?
Pod?
Yeah, I wonder why you would use this portal though.
Nah.
Oh, okay, he's gonna go over to do Stumpy in the dig game, maybe? And south of the Grove Cave as well, he can get in there. Just blue rupee.
It's been the theme of this seed.
Yeah, I think you're just going to see tons of blue rupees because hard mode replaces some upgrades with blue rupees, and retro replaces arrow drops with blue rupees. So yeah, we're just going to see tons of rupees.
Illus is like, I've got 700 some rupees. I'm good for right now. I got 500 for Zora, plus another 110 for Kiki.
Yep.
And some spare change for those arrows that we'll need to fire.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to approach Zora, if that might be like a last location type of thing, because 500 rupees is, I mean, that's 5 small keys.
It might be it might be one of those last things you do, you're right. If you get desperate for items.
Yeah.
Alm's gonna claim his flute.
Illus is loading up on small keys. I think he's probably going to go to pod. Okay, I see what his routing was there. He can do those checks and then, yeah, mirror to that shop. Oh, he's going to do some stuff on Death Mountain first.
Oh, another use of the boomerang and swordless.
And he's got the hammer as well, so he can get over to East Death Mountain.
Yes. And that's another 7, 8 items.
Yes, well, yeah, 8, plus you can check the one on the floating island as well. And Elm's gonna head up to Death Mountain as well. So actually, he might be the first one over to East Death Mountain. The red cane was in Sastrala's closet along with the blue mail.
Which, by the way, is the only male upgrade in the game.
Yep.
That we will not see red. There's not even 2 in the pool, and like one of them turns to rupees afterwards. There's just only that one.
I thought there was.
Not with the male upgrades.
Oh. Oh, that's interesting. We did see a Bombos medallion on the floating island. We can't get that just yet. We need the Titan's mitts. I'm gonna head into Paradox Cave. Just rupees so far. Elm picked up the magic powder. Was that? I might have just missed that. Okay, that must have just been in Paradox Cave. And I'm finding a whole pile of rupees as well. So he's gonna... Okay, he's gonna turn in that magic powder right away. Oh. Illus taking a death. That's not a great place to take a death. It takes you a little bit of time to get back there. Just a big 20 from the magic bat.
I mean, our pod index is probably increasing now, based on what we've seen from both runners.
Yeah. They may be hoping to find the lamp before they head over there, but I'm sure that won't stop them.
Yeah, he's loading up on keys. Yeah, we need 6 keys to fully clear pod if you do not use glitches and you use all of the doors. You can optimally route it with 5.
Yeah. So 11 items in pod. We could have some serious value in here. There's Kiki the money. Kiki the money, yeah. Kiki the money monkey. Gonna take 110 from us.
Well, we're gonna see what the green pendant was. $5. Be careful, Illus.
Careful, yeah.
On a half a heart. I'm not sure about you, but I really like Elminster's timer.
You don't like it or do?
I do like it.
I think it's just bizarre.
So Pod is one of those dungeons that's notorious for its key logic, just because there's just so many keys scattered all over the place. But in Retro, we don't need to worry about any of that.
Yeah, I don't even think keys are considered in the logic because the logic assumes you can always farm up the rupees to buy all the keys you need. So as long as you have the items to get through the dungeon, everything is in logic. I'm going to use this pot just to save as many rupees as you can. Just some rupees on the right side. As Illus makes his way over to Pod, and assuming he goes to Sashrala, he'll be able to grab his Cane of Samaria and Blue Mail. Elm finds a big key. Did Elm restart his timer, or is it just tricking us? Oh, it's just tricking us. Hey, silver arrows.
Those are silvers. That won't lock us out of using the bow, right?
I don't think so. You have to enable the silver arrows manually.
Okay.
In hard mode. So silvers are pretty well required in this mode, especially in hard mode where the potions will only fill half your magic. Doing a silverless Ganon would be next to impossible. Wouldn't be surprised to see Elminster farm all of the rupees in this room. And he gets an item, we don't know what it is, and there's a compass.
It was a small key.
Oh. And Elm's going to do a hammer jump to save a key here.
It's a pretty precise trick. You have to have the right Y pixel, and then you have to drop a bomb.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, he makes it look easy.
Yeah, it's one of the more difficult bomb jumps to pull off, especially because the floor is collapsing, so you're kind of limited in time. But for key sanity and retro modes, it's pretty valuable to save a key.
Elm also found a small key.
And another heart. That's nice.
So something I've noticed is both of our runners have really not cared about those Take Any caves, especially without the incentive of a sword upgrade to look for them. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, you can get up to 4 extra hearts, but I don't think it's just really not worth the time of having to go into all these different caves. Especially some of them are really out of the way. And yeah, Elminster Mirror did not want to go into Helmasaur. Maybe waiting for the lamp.
That would be if he doesn't have the fire rod. So the fire rod can light up the room with terrapins in it, which makes that a lot simpler.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that dark room is not too bad with the fire rod, but without it, it's really difficult, especially without a sword. And he is going to go and buy the Zora item.
So Elm shoves 5 keys into the water essentially and gets back.
Oh, 20 or so he's just going to hard reset. Not surprising.
Yeah, if you do that at home, be sure that you saved recently. I've seen some disasters.
Alright, Elm is going to head to the desert area. I'll just to check Agina, I suppose. Because he can't get into desert.
We'd be looking for the book or Titan's mitts in order to get access to desert.
Yeah. Nothing at Agina. Where else do we have to go? Swamp, maybe?
Well, we don't have the hook shot, so if he went into swamp, it would be a single dip.
Yeah. But I'm just not sure where else we haven't seen yet.
I'm trying to think of that too. Like, there has to be something in swamp.
Oh, Zelgadison makes a good point. So, those 2 chests in Aga Tower can also be items.
That
just
is
like
very,
in Key Sanity.
That is very true. One of them would be in logic. The other one would not, though.
Yeah, not without the lamp.
I love doing that pole dash, by the way.
Yeah. JR Racing Fan, yes, hard resets are allowed because we're going by real time and not by the in-game timer. If we went by the in-game timer, I imagine they would not be allowed. So Illus is going to go fight the Armos Knights.
You don't have to worry as much about flooding the key. Unless you really want to conserve keys.
Yeah.
It's not as big of a disaster. I suspect he's gonna get that key though.
Yeah, probably worth your time.
So Illus is giving us an Armos Knights fight. Finds another key.
And has his second dungeon complete.
Okay. That's our first crystal of the match. And we were talking about something in swamp. I think we found some gloves.
Oh, that opens up quite a bit of stuff.
That's pretty much the break Elminster was looking for.
Yeah. The Illus is heading back into pod here. Just gonna check the back. And Elm is going to do the left side of swamp.
Yeah, Elm also didn't grab the key, so he indeed flooded it. It's like, not worth it. Pay the 100 rupee fee.
So Swamp Palace only had one small key in the small chest, which means it doesn't actually gain as much value as some of the other dungeons. Only 7 items, as opposed to 6.
Oh yeah, and since he doesn't have the hook shot, he has to go and loop around and grab the other chest.
Yeah, doing swamp without the hook shot is not fun, but looks like it was necessary here.
I mean, a required double dip on swamp. That's a nice little curveball for the seed to throw at our runners.
Oh, I missed what was in that last chest.
It was just bombs.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's out of things to do inside swamp, but those mitts open up a bunch of other activities.
Yeah. Illus using the Cane of Samaria block to go through the dark maze. There's our hook shot. Some nice items for Elminster.
Alright, so swamp was definitely required double dip. Is that either?
Yeah.
Yes.
So he could go in there if he wants to, which he might actually do after this.
He has the equipment to finish it.
Yeah, he doesn't need to do the left side with that hint, so we don't really care that we don't have the fire rod or lamp. He's going to head into desert first, though.
Yeah, the lamp could easily show up here as well.
Yeah, I would think it would be in logic.
You can't finish this without a fire source.
A map in the big chest of swamp. So we don't need to head back if we find that big key. We got a small key from the compass chest.
This dungeon has 3 items on retro. We've seen one of them. This is probably going to be a big key.
So Illus is going to try to get to Helmisar without lamp or fire rod. And I'm not going to go into Misery Mire. He's going to use that hook shot and Titansmiths to check out Dark Death Mountain.
I mean, I don't blame him. Minor dark rooms aren't trivial.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with no sword. And especially with the Cane of Burna not providing you invincibility. So Illus has to deal with these turtles with the hammer. While Elminster makes his way into Super Bunny Cave. Finds a Quake Medallion. And Piece of Heart.
Looks like he's gotten 2 more dead here on Illus's side. Right now, he's just really like, yeah. I mean, some runners will use like the B to navigate this as well, but it looks like he makes it.
All right.
All right, another key and hook.
Small key. I missed what the first chest was.
I think it was 5 rupees.
Okay, so not a small key, but not really a whole lot else in Hookshot Cave.
So Illus does need to be careful. He doesn't have a whole lot of health. But if he manages to get Helmus or King down, then this is just a couple checks he won't have to do later.
Yep.
Which is going to put him at a decent advantage over Elminster.
And he gets it done. So Elm coming to grab the Bombos Medallion, so he's got all 3 now. As well, the Bombos Medallion opens up Ice Palace for him.
So either is also required for TR, but we have all 3 medallions that we've seen. So not as big of a deal now.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, Illus handled that Terrapin for pretty well.
Yep.
I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, that is a very difficult, probably one of the most difficult dark rooms in the game.
And I think we're going to see some Turtle Rock.
Yeah, no Fire Rod or Ice Rod. We get a hint about the boots, which we found in the first 5 minutes.
So there'll be 2 chests in here you can't check.
Yeah, and as well, he won't be able to beat Trinex.
Yep.
But of course, with Retro, he can get pretty deep in this dungeon with the keys.
So Pyramid just had 5 rupees.
It's gonna go do Catfish, I assume.
And I don't think we've seen Catfish yet.
Oh. I want to know where this lamp is. Ooh. Elminster getting chain chomped.
Yeah, those chain chops will snipe you if you're not careful.
Or even if you are careful.
Yeah, it's true. One thing I think of is maybe he intentionally died to bail out, but
I don't think so, because he hadn't opened that chest yet.
okay.
He's gonna do Spike Cave instead.
So
Maybe he
this
did
is
open the chest. I don't know. I don't think he did though.
So this is one of the few rooms where the Cane of Burno will in fact give you invincibility.
It's pretty low on magic though. Is he gonna make it?
Yeah,
Oh, he's got a blue potion.
Yeah. And another
Okay,
half
chat's
arrow.
saying that Turtle Rock Death was definitely not intentional.
And then he decided just to bail out instead of trying to do it again.
Yeah,
I can understand that.
because I don't see, like, if he's gonna dip Turtle Rock, why would he only go up to that room and then bail out? The potions will refill all your magic in Spike Cave and only in Spike Cave.
So Elminster is bringing that hook shot back to the Swamp Palace, where Illus is going to get his first dip.
Yeah, so he'll grab his Titan's Mitts. Zero, yeah, I believe it's in all difficulties. It works as normal in Spike Cave, simply for the logic purposes. So, hour and 7 minutes in, we're missing a fire rod, the ice rod, and maybe the lamp if they really want it. But mostly just the fire rod and ice rod for go mode.
Yeah, so TR is TR has a pendant on it. So we could end up in a scenario also where the ice rod could literally be anywhere, including Ganon's tower.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, the only place it can't be is on Trinax itself.
So right now we're like in a situation where Elminster has done more checks overall, it feels like, but Illus has consolidated his checks into the dungeons that he has done. So he's up 2 dungeons.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's really hard kind of to say who's in the lead just yet. I'd say overall it seems fairly close. Elminster having to use menu strats on Argus. You pretty much have to in hard mode, or in the swordless mode, I mean.
I mean, I could say some controversial things about Quick Swap right now, but I think I'll keep my mouth quiet.
But you'd like to see it?
I'm just gonna stay quiet.
I didn't realize it was that controversial.
Oh, there is one right answer on this.
And there's our fourth sword that was turned into rupees. Elm picks up a couple of blue potions.
So, Illus has not been really scared of dark rooms so far. So, do you think that he'll go into Mire and just plow through those?
I would think so. I mean, if he could do that pod turtle room completely dark, I don't think he'll have much trouble with Mire. Elm making an Ice Palace play now. So we got 5 items inside Ice Palace instead of the usual 3.
Yeah, we were told that some money was in Kakariko Well.
That's good to know. Meanwhile, Illus gonna grab his hook shot here. There's a shovel.
Can you dig it?
Illus can check out Desert Palace, which we already know isn't really going to pay off. I'm saying thanks for the hint, I already went there.
Yeah, so the hints that you'll see, the logic doesn't care about the hints. So you're gonna run into a scenario where you're probably gonna get hinted at something like 2 seconds before you find it, or vice versa. It's kind of makes it fun.
It's interesting, Elm is not going to do the Ice Palace bomb jump. I wonder if that's because of Retro, he doesn't need to find the key.
Potentially. Like, yeah, he can just immediately... He has the keys to come over to this side. And if he wants to burn a small key, he'll find the big key at some point. He has Samaria as well, so he doesn't have to make the run around.
Yeah.
I would have done it if he didn't have Samaria.
There's a lamp deep in Ice Palace.
Well, that's certainly a place for the lamp to be. That's probably going to drive him, though, back to Eastern and Pod probably at some point, so he can clean those up.
Yeah.
He'll...
We will be able to save a little bit of time over Illus, since that turtle room will be quite a bit easier.
We're probably looking maybe at like a net neutral on that at this point.
Yeah, since Elm will be double dipping Eastern.
So also in Swordless, yeah, Bombo's medallion will work, but only on the locations where you see the Bombo symbol. Otherwise, you need a sword normally, and you don't get that in Swordless.
Yeah. So you're not going to be able to use them to clear out some rooms that you'd really like to. Forgets that he didn't have the big key.
It's nice tea room.
Illus gonna clear out Dark Death Mountain. I wonder if he'll go into Turtle Rock.
By the way, iced tea room. It's because of the tea. Everybody get it?
What? I didn't get it. A heart container can be dug up. Well, we saw rupees at the dig game, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So that means that shovel's useless.
That's actually a fairly solid hit. So like hits are like basically like in 3 categories, right? You have your inculpatory hits that tell you where something's at, your exculpatory hits where it tells you where something's not at, and then you have your useless hits where you just already knew the information or it was a link face.
And then you get the really annoying hints that tell you, for example, the mushroom is here, and then you're like, well, okay, but I don't know if that leads to anything or not.
Something unique is in plain sight.
Yeah. So it looks like Illus is going to skip Turtle Rock for now and do Spike Cave. While Elminster is going to face Cold Stare. Hammer Cold Stare, not a fun fight. And no Fire Rod either.
Yeah, and those puffs will do a lot of damage to Elminster. Yeah, he's on 3 hearts, yeah. That's a good call. There's 1 down. This is a fight that just gets easier as you take down the puffs.
Yeah.
You'll see him focusing 1 at a time.
Yeah, that's usually the best way to do this fight.
I mean, with a sword, you can usually then get him in a corner, but there's no way you're controlling those puffs with a hammer.
And Elminster gets his 3rd dungeon down, so the players now are tied on dungeons. So we got the lamp, but still no Fire Rod or Ice Rod. So I'm just gonna go clean up Pod and Eastern, I guess.
We'll have a good idea where both runners stand once Elminster finishes both these dungeons.
Yeah. Illus is gonna take care of Swamp Palace.
I have this feeling that Elminster's in a slight lead right now.
Yeah, I agree. Because, yeah, Pod and Eastern just going straight to the bosses. Meanwhile, Illus still has to do Swamp Palace, and he hasn't touched Ice Palace yet. So that's probably maybe a few minutes ahead for Elminster. But that Ice Rod could control these runners, so who knows.
Yeah, it may come down to a game of who finds ice first. Money's no object to Elm now.
Yeah. Well, he'll want 200 rupees at least for Ganon. And he'll probably have to buy some more small keys at some point.
I'm trying to like go through like the number of keys that Elm is gonna need. He's gonna need 1 for Tarahera to get to the basement. He'll need 2 more minimum for TR, maybe 3. And he'll need 2 for Aga Tower.
Yeah, and then I guess he will need 1 at least for Ganon's Tower, although chances are you can find 1 in there.
And he may need more depending on how much he has to clear out of GT.
Yeah.
There are a few freestanding keys. There's like 3 of them.
Yeah.
That are freestanding in the lower part of GT, and then there's 1 up above.
Yeah, and then there's 4 more inside chests. Well, not in Retro, but normally.
By the way, I just wanted to say just how elegant that Helmistor King Killer was.
Yeah.
Brought a tear to my eye.
Elminster, though, 6 hours and 22 minutes. I don't know if that's gonna do it.
It's quite the marathon scene.
Is that a 6 or is that a B? I can't tell.
I think it's whatever you want it to be. So Illus is done with Swab. We'll see where he goes next. He has a couple options really open to him: Ice or a dip into Mire. And I think he's going with Ice. It's probably the right call at this point.
So he'll get his lamp, but there's not a whole lot else inside.
This is normally a dungeon you want to go mode, but in this case, you're kind of being forced into there.
Shularoon, that is correct. Keys are basically just treated like money in the logic, which is that they're not considered at all. It's assumed that you can always farm up all the money you need to buy keys. This gets his shovel. Assuming he checks the hint, he'll find out it's worthless.
So 19 shots. So that was 190 rupees that cost.
Yeah. Plus, he had to use 6 arrows for those Igors in the room before.
So I think my math comes up to he needs a total of 7 more keys to finish the seed. He has 2 already. And then there's some freestanding keys in Mire. There's at least 1 that's easily accessible. which means he may be looking at buying 3 more to cover everything. Or 4 more to cover everything, yeah.
Yeah, again, it depends on where the big key is in GT, and if they're still looking for the ice rod at that point.
I mean, something tells me Illus was prepared to probably do dark rooms in Mire if he had to.
Yeah. Ooh, Elm just burned a key that he did not want to burn. We got a hint earlier that the left side of Mire was the map and compass.
Yeah, there's our big key. He's gonna have to check the remaining chests in here though for items. He may burn another key to speed up his checks inside here though.
Yeah, maybe. The Cannon Burner does work on those spikes as well.
Basically, a good rule of thumb is that if it's a room where you're forced to take damage in order to progress, or do something the logic would require you to do, then it's very likely the cane will work fully in there. So like Laser Bridge is also another example where the cane will also work. Yep. Remembering that chest. Probably actually went down the stairs and up intentionally to speed up the return.
Just a quick little time save.
I mean, especially at this level of play, those small time saves can really add up. It can mean the difference between winning and losing.
Illus down to 3 hearts. He's gonna burn a key to grab. Oh, he's gonna flip the switch.
He's gonna go to the ferry room.
Ah.
It's probably worth it at this point. That's a good call.
Yeah, since hard mode, you cannot use the powder to turn that anti-ferry into a ferry. It will just be a single heart.
I want to turn everybody's attention to Elminster's side. He's in fact using bomb strats to weaken these eyeballs. This boss can get pretty expensive to arrow kill.
Yeah. I think 30 arrows on the small eyes if you hit all of them. And another 8 for the big eye. So that'd be 380 rupees.
And he knows he has to... Start, go ahead.
I said he's just going to give up and use the arrows now. What were you saying?
Oh, it's like he knows that he has to spend a bunch of money on keys at some point. So, he really wants to conserve that cash.
Yeah.
All right, on Illus' side, Illus is fighting Cold Stare.
Oh, down to 1 heart, but he's got a red potion.
Yeah, a red potion, just healing up 7 hearts, but in this case, it's probably enough.
Yeah. And Elm finishes Mire. So that's his 6th dungeon down. Illus will have his 5th, if assuming he doesn't die here.
All right, there's 1 puff down.
Ooh, 2 hearts. This is getting close. 1 heart. He's got to be extremely careful.
There we go.
Man. Clutch.
I was at the edge of my seat on that one. But pulls through and claims a crystal for his trouble.
Yeah. I'm gonna go take care of Land Molus. Let's see if... I doubt he'll use the arrows here. But you'd really like to have the Fire Rod or the Ice Rod for these guys.
He probably doesn't have enough money to really burn on use arrows, so
Yeah.
we're probably going to see some hammer strats.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I think Burno would also work, so we could burn through his magic as well to damage them, but the hammer I think is going to be more damage.
Yeah. This is going to go into Mire now. And gets his blue pendant.
Alright, so we do know that Hera is in fact a crystal.
Bill's giving us a bird toss. And I'm gonna go buy some keys. Can only buy 2. He's only gonna buy 1, in fact. I think he's gonna go do Aga.
I do like this play.
Yeah, so yeah, we could see the Fire Rod or Ice Rod in one of those 2 chests.
I mean, really, based on what we've seen, it's either this or Tower of Hera that has our progression.
Or deeper into Turtle Rock.
That's true too. It really depends on where the big key is at. If it's in those 2 chests that are Fire Rod locked, then that could be... Yeah, we'll have to see on that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that's not... It's red, but it's not our Fire Rod.
Just red rupees. So, nothing in Aga's Tower, but he does have to complete it anyway.
Yeah, so for those tuning in, this is in fact all dungeons. So, Aga 1, Aga 2, and all 10 dungeons are required. So we have to do this anyway. Some cache is above the pose. Did we ever get a graveyard ledge check?
All right, I'd just like to take a quick moment to remind everyone to give these runners a follow. I post their links in chat. All right, so we're coming up on Aga. Why don't we throw some guesses into chat? There can be between 0 or 15 blue balls, unless you miss some, which actually might happen with the hammer.
The math says 3, so I'm going with 3.
I'll say 5.
We don't even have the bug net.
Yeah.
1 blue ball.
Yeah, this
2.
is a tricky fight.
3 blue ball.
All right, we got 3 on the first cycle. Yeah, there's a pretty small time window where you can actually hit those back with the hammer. I think it's when the hammer is on the ground and you see those little stars pop out of it. So only during that very short window will it actually reflect.
4 blue ball. Ha ha ha.
There's 5. 5, I was right.
Oh, there you go.
Meanwhile, Illus took care of Vitreous. He used all arrows, I think, so burned through most of his cash. Alright, now I'm gonna go and check Catfish, I think. And Illus is gonna take care of Desert Palace.
Yep. So, yeah, hard mode, Boomerang doesn't stun.
Yeah. I was checking what the stun prize was, just a heart. Really hoping for a red rupee in this mode.
I mean, what looks like the play is going to be now? Probably Hera, maybe. King's Tomb.
I'm checking King's Tomb. Did we see this already? Just bombs.
Yeah, if we did, it wasn't memorable, so. So Desert Palace was a pendant, and Tower Hero was our crystal.
Yeah.
And I think Illus gave us a look at Lumberjack Cave, but Elm never checked it.
Just a rupee. I don't think there's going to be anything on the pedestal. Turtle Rock's a pendant, and all we really need is a fire rod and ice rod. But if you're hoping for a troll, we could still see the ice rod in Ganon's tower.
So both of our runners are converging on Tower Hera.
Yeah, so we haven't seen... We've seen a couple of chests in here. I believe the Ether Medallion was in the basement. Right in the first basement.
So, did Elminster open up that door? Because he's out of keys right now.
Oh, yeah.
He knows. He's probably gonna have to go to Kakariko quick and grab a key.
Yeah, he doesn't want to leave that location behind.
That means also if he dives deeper into TR, he's gonna need to buy probably even more keys. So he's gonna have to find a place to farm up rupees.
Oh, it's the big key.
Yep.
That's right. So both players have all the same dungeons completed, except for Aga's Tower, which Illus still has to do.
Bombs in the Hookshot Cave. Oh, and there's another small key drop. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, both players running low on rupees, so they're going to be happy to find any small keys they can.
That's right, dodge those tiles. They'll probably throw the pod at the last tile here.
Illus on Moldorm now. 3 hammer hits. As long as he doesn't get knocked off, it's a pretty quick fight. And there's our fire shield. So we can dodge fireballs, but we still are looking for the item that shoots them. Alright, Illus is... Where's he gonna go? Maybe Smith Chain? I don't think we've seen that yet. So he's gonna rescue the frog. He's gonna do hammer pegs and purple chest. No item dashing and swordless. You need a sword for the item dash to work, or you will just bonk.
Yeah, if you try it and you don't know about that, that can be pretty confusing too.
There's a red potion in a bottle. Certainly nice to have. Elminster takes care of Hera. So we've now got all the dungeons down that we can do. A key from the smiths. Not progression, but nice to get an extra one.
It's 100 rupees. If you think about it, yeah.
Basically, yeah. And Elm is going to head back to Turtle Rock. Which, yeah, unless there's something here in the purple chest, which there's not. Illus, not happy. I think he's going to go do Aga now. Yes, I'm trying to think where else besides Turtle Rock have we not looked?
I think between the two of them, I think everything's covered.
Yeah. Well, there's the ice rod, which Elm died right before getting. Not that it matters, though. The fire rod was the progression.
I think he might be slightly happy as at least it was the ice rod.
Yeah.
So he may have felt really bad if there was something important in that chest. Well, at least our dreams of being trolled in Ganon's tower for the ice rod are dead.
Now, is Elm going to steal this key?
Well, right now, he wouldn't have enough keys to finish the dungeon if he didn't steal it.
Yeah.
If he used it on this door.
But of course, if the fire rod happens to be in that chest, he's in big trouble.
That would be pretty unfortunate. I think he's going to use it.
Oh, it's the big key. Right.
So... Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so he had no choice.
But that doesn't mean that it's not fire locked in the earlier part of TR.
The fire rod?
No, the Ganon's tower, the big key.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a gamble, actually. But, I mean, without the big key, there was nothing else in here he could check. Well, Mimic Cave, maybe.
And we hadn't been hinted on him Mimic Cave. No, we did get hinted, didn't we?
I don't remember. I might have missed it.
I might be thinking a different game.
Ooh, Elm taking another death in Turtle Rock. I think he's got to go back in because I don't think he has anywhere else to check. Now, do you think we're going to find a fire rod on Laser Bridge or somewhere? Or do you think we're going to find a fetch quest? Which at this point, I guess is just the book.
I mean, for our runner's sake, I hope it's just a fire rod. I think they've been through enough so far.
Yeah,
We're
the
at hour
seed is
50 mark.
yeah, the seed is an open kind. Or in Elminster's case, at the backwards question mark and 51 mark. Illus on Aga now. He's got 3.5 hearts, so should be enough.
Yeah, so the powder will only give you a single heart container, or a single heart in hard difficulty.
Yeah, these, I think they're called pokies. These are not fun to deal with without the fire rod. Or sword. Finally gets through it with 2 hearts.
Yeah, you pretty much one-shot him with a fire rod.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking back, I don't think we got hinted at Mimic Cave. But...
So, nothing in the big chest.
He's maybe hoping if it was the fire rod there, then I don't have to go into Mimic Cave.
Nothing there, so we're down to Laser Bridge. Or the roller room as well. Elminster going to take a heart refill. And he's really hoping he finds a fire rod and a small key on Laser Bridge, so he doesn't have to come back. There's a heart container.
Something red, but not the red we're looking for.
Illus making his way to Turtle Rock. I don't think he has anywhere else to look either.
Yeah, he has 3 keys. You need 4 to fully clear out TR. So...
Yeah. And he, yeah, with that vanilla big key, can't even steal a key. Alright, here's Laser Bridge, so there's gonna be something here. Either the fire rod or the book, basically.
Taking the safety door, that's good.
There it is.
Fire rod. Now, is this a small key?
No. So he's going to have to go down to the exit, mirror out. Well, he's going to fill up his health first with the death. So he has to mirror out, go buy key, and then come back. So this is going to give Illus a bit of a chance to catch up, but Illus doesn't have enough keys either. I don't remember if there were any small keys in Turtle Rock. I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Illus will be in the same scenario.
Yeah, if Illus had just bought one more small key, He really would have had a chance to catch up here.
You can't steal key because our big key is there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Elm's already gotten his key.
And look at Elm's rupee count. He's going to have to do some farming before he goes into GT.
Yeah, he'll need 40 rupees to deal with... No, he'll need 80 rupees to deal with the mimics.
And then 200 for Ganon.
Yep.
And I don't know if he may want to buy some small keys as well. Since he's going to have 0 left after he goes into Trinex. And here's Trinex.
So 5 hits per head while it's vulnerable by being struck by the rod. He has to wait for the animation to finish.
So this fight, I'm sure they practiced a lot because you see this often when you come into Trinex with only a Master Sword or less. No problem.
And then 5 hits to the main part of Trinex. Probably do 3 on the head here. No. Alright, now the body's vulnerable.
Nice fight.
So, Elminster needs to find... He's going to need at least 1 key. Unless he wants... Because he's not going to have enough keys right now to fully clear out GT, depending on where that big key is at.
Yeah.
So, he still has Skullwoods to do. So, Skullwoods could have some money in the back part of it.
Yeah. He hasn't done a Houlihan yet, so we might be able to... Might do that. Illus making his way back down TR. And Elm heading towards Mothula.
Yeah, I think he was really hoping for a key to be in that chest.
He's going to need a small key here.
Yep.
He forgot to grab one from that pot. Unless he grabbed it earlier. He's going to pull the pedestal.
Alright, well...
Just a heart piece.
What a beautiful ped pull. So, there's the fire rod on Illus's side.
Yeah.
And in about 2 seconds here, he's going to learn the cold, hard truth about his trip through Turtle Rock.
Yeah. And Elm realizing he needs to find another key. So, time to go farm some rupees. So he gets 50 rupees from this cave each time he goes in. So I imagine he'll do this at least 6 times. Yeah, I don't really want to gamble on having to find more rupees before we go to Ganon's Tower.
So what's more efficient? Would it? So if you're already in the area for the archery game, is that a more efficient way to farm rupees?
I would think so, because with the archer game, you don't have to leave and come back each time. You can just keep playing over and over.
And there's a very consistent setup for it too.
Yeah, and you get how many rupees do you get each time? You get around 100 and so. So the archer game is much faster, but it takes a bit longer to get there.
So Illus has 2 keys right now, and he's gonna dive into Skull Woods.
I'm surprised Elm isn't doing a hula hand. Or maybe he will do that now. No, he's gonna go buy some keys. Oh, and he's remembered to buy the wooden arrows so that he can use the silvers when he goes to Ganon. Alright, so I'm just going to spend all his rupees on keys, so he's going to have to find some more rupees eventually.
That is a very lucky. That's a very lucky full magic drop on Illus's side.
Alright, Illus is on Mothula. Yeah, Hammer Mothula is not fun at all, so getting off those fire rod shots is nice.
Yeah, unless Mothula flashes, the damage doesn't count. Because if he's on top of the spikes, that will cause him not to take damage.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird glitch in the game.
But there we go.
Just some bombs for his trouble. But it's a crystal. Okay, so Illus now has to go to Turtle Rock and defeat Trinex. I think he left the mirror on Laser Bridge. I'm not 100% sure.
He did, but by going to Dark World.
Yeah, so he's going to take a death warp here.
Yes.
So that mirror portal, if you save and quit, it will disappear. But if you take a death warp in the overworld, you'll keep your mirror portal. So that's what he's doing here. But unfortunately, he has forgotten that he's already defeated Aghanim, which means that, yeah, he'll stay in the Dark World.
All right, Elminster.
Illus gonna farm some rupees.
There we go.
Elminster taking care of Mothula with half a heart left.
So it is that time of the match. Get your guesses in for where that big key is in Ganon's Tower. Your numbers are 1 through 22. If you are a subscriber or a supporter of any speed gaming channel, you are qualified to join the leaderboard. Even if you're not, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, so even if you're not, you can still play. You know, get your numbers in anyway. We will close this once ElminsterRTA has entered Ganon's Tower. What's your guess?
Let's go with 16.
All right, well, I'll go do 17.
Alright, Illus farming rupees, Elm heading to GT.
Yeah, and the X88 at 5-second mark, he is on his way to GT.
So I think what Elma's gonna do is he's gonna find the big key and hope to get some rupees on the way. Because if he doesn't, he's going to have to fly away and get some rupees. Because he's got a total of 9 right now.
Oh, yeah. This is your last chance. We're closing soon on stream.
Oh, there's a book.
And money, which is actually really good.
Oh, that's, yeah.
There's our
$300.
That's actually the rupees that we need for the bow.
Yeah. Of course, it doesn't leave him much room for error. But maybe he'll find some more big 20s and stuff along the way.
So this is chests 4 through 7. 5 is just the compass. 6 is a big 20, and 7 is another big 20. So also to recap on Illus's side, he is dipping back into TR for the same reason Elminster had to. He ran out of small keys. So he had to leave even though he did find the ice and fire rod inside Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because if Illus had just had one more small key, this would have been such a close race.
So 8 was 50 rupees.
Alright, Elm's gamble to find rupees in GT definitely paying off. Hey, a green potion.
Yep, chest number 9. I think that's 9. I'm bad at counting this, and I messed it up last time, so somebody might need to keep me honest.
There's a couple extra small keys.
So that'd be 9, 10, 11, 12. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
I was never good at numbers.
Yeah, because he went full left, basically. Well, chat correcting us. Apparently we've seen 10 through 13.
It is 13? Okay.
So this will be number 14.
Alright, yeah, that makes sense. 14 is 20 rupees. So we'll be looking at 15 through 17 in Ice Armos.
Now, how's he going to tackle this? Is he going to use arrows? Yeah.
Yeah,
At least some.
I think he'll spend his way out of this one. $15's the big key, and he's bailing out. He's not even going to look for rupees in the other 2 chests.
Yeah, doesn't he need 280 though?
Yes, he does. So
He just used another arrow on that switch, so he's... I guess, I mean, there are some rupees in pots and stuff, but he's cutting it pretty close.
So, before I solidify this, it was 15, right? I'm right?
I think so. Chat, can you confirm that?
Yeah, I messed it up last time. So, King Horn is our supporter to guess correctly. So congratulations to him. He will get a spot on the fabulous leaderboards.
Illus takes care of Trinex, and now we can go to GT, but again, is he going to gamble on the rupees in GT? He does have several keys, so I don't think he's going to go farm anything. And of course, you can always complete GT and then go farm rupees if you need to before killing Ganon. And Elminster heading into the gauntlet. Definitely quite a bit tougher without sword or arrows.
Swordless Retro, you better be good with the hammer.
Yep. He's going to use a fire rod on Landmo 2. That fire shield really coming in handy. He's just blocked a couple shots. Stormy, this is game 3. Elminster vetoed normal difficulty and Illus vetoed key sanity. I'm running low on magic here.
Oh, Illus is doing right side.
Okay, so he will get this 300 rupees. He'll be happy to see that.
Yeah, he's probably gonna take the right side route around to Ice Armos.
I'm having to use a potion to refill his magic. Or partly refill it.
Yeah, this is not a room you want to run out of magic on.
Yeah. Well, Illus getting an extra heart container from that heart piece.
And Elminster does have the rupees he needs for Ganon.
Yep. Almost enough even for an extra shot, just in case. Oh, there's a couple extra shots.
Yeah, I'm sure he's in good shape now.
Takes care of Moldorm 2. And gets the magic cape.
You can still get invincibility from it, and you can conserve the magic on it if you pull against the wall.
Yeah. It's not too useful in Swordless, though, since you can't attack Ganon while you're using it.
Correct. But during some of the... So, while he's waiting for the fire bats to go away, he could use that.
He could.
There's our first blue ball.
Elminster using a net dash on Aga. I don't think I've seen this before.
Swag net strats are best strats. It's a little harder to do than just swiping the net, but he does need to be careful.
He's having a rough time here. Yeah, he's down to 2 hearts. He does not want to die, because that would put Illus in the lead. And
there we go.
Done.
So there is a fairy in the as the bonk prize in a tree south of the pyramid. He'll probably go by and grab that quick.
Yeah.
Whereas on Illus's side, Illus is working his way through the gauntlet right now. Oh, just going straight in. Yep, and dying. Yep.
I guess this is a little quicker than grabbing the fairy.
He might be able to do this in combination of grabbing the fairy if he wants a full refill, but yeah.
Got to make sure that you've killed Aghanim before you try that strat.
What are you saying about up hit boxes on the hammer? Yeah.
So the hardest part of this fight by far is phase 2. Although I'm sure Elma's pretty good at it.
Oh, I'm sure he's probably practiced the strats for Swordless.
He takes a hit there. So he needs 12 hits with the hammer. It's really risky to try to hit Ganon when he's down at the bottom. Because there's just not much room for that up hit.
Alright, and it looks like Elm has phased Ganon into 3 once these fire bats go away.
He almost gets hit there.
I think with red mail, the fire bats do like 4 hearts of damage. Or with blue mail.
Yeah, something like that. I'm getting a torch glitch. Ooh, here's a should be a double. One more silver arrow hit.
Yeah, those shots are 50 apiece.
And that's it. So get your GGs in chat, folks. Elminster has won the race with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 10 seconds. Quite a long seed.
Yeah. Elminster's comment in the SRL chat is a bit colorful about the seed.
Yeah, we're not going to repeat that.
Yep.
And
all right.
Elm is in the waiting room, so he should be joining us any second.
And we're joined by ElminsterRTA. How are you doing this morning?
I want to go back to bed.
That was a heck of a race, and a heck of a seed.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be bad just because of the settings, but still some other pretty bad things.
Yeah, you guys both did the same thing on Turtle Rock, where you just had too few keys.
Yeah, I was kind of banking on key being on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, unfortunately it wasn't, but yeah, if Illus had one extra key, he might have been neck and neck with you, but unfortunately he did the same thing as well.
So I saw in the restream that he, I guess, I don't know if he went to go do other things.
Yeah,
before.
Actually what happened is he went to Skull Woods, and he did leave the mirror portal, but since he was in the Dark World and he'd killed Aga, he wasn't able to use the mirror portal. So he had to backtrack all the way through Turtle Rock again.
Yeah, I did Aga a bit earlier than I might have if it wasn't retro, I guess, because I was hoping to find Fire Rod there.
Yeah, how about Fire Rod and Ice Rod both in Turtle Rock? I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if it would have changed my perspective on it if I hadn't died to Chomps the first time I dipped Turtle Rock way earlier in the seed.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
It didn't really matter in the end, honestly. Yeah. But I was my original intention was just to get the Chomps chest and then peace out anyways. And then I died, and I was like, okay, well, it's just not worth it. But I didn't have a fire source at the time, so I was still hoping for a lamp or something like that.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing it was only the Ice Rod there, not the Fire Rod.
Okay, yes, that lamp location though.
Yeah, Ice Pal was at the ice, or that was the Spike Room, I think, wasn't it?
That was I think it was Atrium or something. But yeah, right side Ice Palace. I guess like it's not that the lamp location itself was bad, but more that there was no fire source for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, you noped out of Pod instead of doing the Dark Room. Illus actually did the Dark Room without the Fire Rod too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was not doing that swordless, no medallion uses to fall back on. I went to Eastern really soon in the race because I was like, well, I've got the bow and hopefully like part of my Dark World access is in Eastern maybe. And then I was just like, how am I gonna kill Armos? And I was like, okay, well, I'll try and if I get to them, use the 6 arrows I have in money and then maybe try some area blocks. But I had like nothing and the dark room was giving me issues, so I just decided to quit while I was ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I think most people are not that familiar with Retro because it's not played that often.
Yeah, like going to Skullwoods, I forgot that I was going to need another key. Because usually, like, the key is free, but I had already stolen it for use elsewhere.
And then, yeah, I saw when you burned that extra key in Meyer, and then remembering that you had that hint that there was nothing there.
Yeah, I was like, whoops. I can't blame myself too much for that because that's such a rare, it's such a rare instance, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Illus is fighting Ganon now. He is in phase 2. He's getting, he's got no potions left. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, this is actually really tough because of not being able to afford potions.
Phase 2. Yeah, I've only done swordless if Illus takes a death. He's gonna go grab this fairy. So, yeah, you are looking pretty good, I think, in the group stage. I don't think you've mathematically clinched a spot, but you move up, I think, to 9 and 3 now. How are you feeling about the rest of the group stage?
I feel good about the rest of the group stage. So I've given Dracaris his only loss so far, and we just scheduled game 3 for Friday morning, so we rolled for that, and we actually got very similar settings to my game 2 pick. It's a hard open key sanity, so
that sounds fun.
So I feel like I have a bit of an advantage in key sanity over him, so I feel like maybe I could take that game as well.
Illus, unfortunately, with this loss, I believe that does mathematically eliminate him. He was at 4 and 6, so he'll be up to 4 and 7 now.
Seeing how far ahead Dracaris was ahead of everyone else, like he was 8-0 just a week ago, and
yeah,
I started off
9 and 1 now. Last time I checked.
Yeah, I started off poorly. I threw against Cadenza, forgetting Bombos and Tile Room in an all dungeon seed, and then just had some bad luck. So
yeah,
at the start I was 1-3, and then since then I've won 8 straight games. So
nice.
It's getting better. So I kind of figured that like the top spot in the group was not really up for grabs anymore, but I think I do actually have a shot at it now. I just need Dracaris to lose a couple, and if I beat him, that could help that.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a really long seed. Just some really trolly stuff.
Oh yeah, the Mitsun Swamp.
Yeah.
Leading right to Hookshot.
Yeah, the force swamp double dip. Yeah, Illus, I think, had a bit of a lead earlier on because you went into Eastern and Pod and didn't finish them, whereas he didn't really do that as much. He did more of the overworld checks. But then that swamp play, I think, was what really flipped the match. Because he didn't go in... I think he pretty much last location now.
I pretty much last location except for like Graveyard Ledge and Catfish area.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was I think busy doing those dark rooms in Eastern and Pod while you were going into Swamp.
Yeah, I wasn't. I decided I wasn't going to do those. So I was I was at that point fairly certain that progress was going to be in Swamp, and I was really hoping that it wasn't the lamp, because then that could have been a sequence broken, of course.
So, yeah, on Illus's side here, he realizes he doesn't have enough money now to fight Ganon. Has to bail out.
How has he been doing in terms of like getting more money, trying to farm more money?
It felt probably about the same as you.
Yeah, you both
Like,
mostly used that that 50 rupee cave. I was surprised. I don't think anyone used the archery game at all. And no one hula-hand either. Illus, I think, went to hula-hand, but didn't get the bomb jump. But which was fine since he hadn't done the back of escape anyway.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't really make a habit of doing hula-hand, so it doesn't really cross my mind. But it would have been really good this seed though to do that.
Yeah, well, you did have the flippers early, so, but I think you had the glove as well. Yeah, that was
we had boots as well, so that's another way to do it.
Yeah, that escape was loaded though. I think you had the bow, the cane of Bruna, a glove, and the flippers just out of escape.
Yeah,
and the mirror.
Then a bomb drop, and an 8 bomb drop.
Yeah, Illus didn't get any bomb drop at all, so he had to go back later for that.
I mean, that didn't turn out to be such a big deal, but that 8 bomb drop was really nice to have, just because of not having to spend money on it.
Yeah. So Illus is farming up some rupees. Just needs 2 more. Alright, that should do it. Unless he wants also to buy some potions. Yeah, it looks like that's what he's gonna do. So, do you think it would be faster to do the archery game if you were going to be farming up a lot of rupees?
I didn't think about that. I don't know.
I think it is, like, it's faster for the rupees, but it also takes quite a bit longer to get there.
Oh, let's see, you get, like, 64, 32, so you get, like, what, 127 rupees
Something
every
like
time
that.
you
You
do
have
it?
to pay 27 each time, so you get a bit over 100. And you don't have to exit and come back in each time as well.
Oh, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, you can just stand right next to the guy and just keep spamming. Yeah, I've played quite a bit of Inverted, so I know how that works.
I have too, but I usually end up just doing 1 round of archery and it works out fine for me. So I didn't know that.
I think Illus... Yeah, Illus is now happy with his rupee count.
Yeah, I think he's going to buy a couple potions.
Yep. at least get some reds. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's seen that Elm is already finished, so I think he just wants to just finish this off once and for all. He's not as worried about speed. You can get back pretty quickly with the Aga portal. Elm, how are you feeling if you do make the bracket stages? How are you feeling about the addition of Expert?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping to make bracket just because I want to play it.
Yeah, I've never tried Expert, but it sounds really, really tough. Have you? You said you've never tried it before?
No, I have. It's just would be fun to play it in a tournament setting.
I was gonna say, how much tougher do you think it makes it?
Significantly. Like, that also depends what mode you combine it with too, I think. But
yeah,
you're guaranteed not to have tempered, so fewer hearts. The last expert seed I did with 5 hearts, green male.
5 hearts, green male. Wow.
Illus
that is really gonna weed out anyone who's not, among the strongest runners.
Like, the thing about hard is that if you have a healthy seed, if you have like fortunate items at the start, it doesn't end up. It's possible for it to end up not being much harder than normal.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Like, unless you're kind of a newer player, I mean, 14 hearts blue male is plenty.
Yeah, like me and a few other people have said before that we think hard should kind of be the standard for tournaments.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, actually.
But I feel normal just ends up with too many situations where you have no risk of dying, and it's just like, how many potions and cape can you stack and whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that leads you into probably one of my next questions. So you opted to veto normal. It's probably for that exact reason, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
I figure I knew the answer to that, but I thought I'd ask anyway.
Yeah, I'm kind of vetoing. Kind of depends who I'm facing. But I figured I didn't care too much about which variation or state would come up, so I just figured I'd veto normal.
All right, and Illus has finished Ganon, so get your GGs in chat for him. He finishes with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 39 minutes, and 43 seconds. So we'll see if he wants to come in for an interview.
Yeah, I'm checking with him right now.
So while we're waiting for him, I just want to throw out links to our runners in the chat. So give these guys a follow, and as well, myself, Atium, and my co-commentator, Synak, as well as our tracker, Phantom Black Ice. And it looks like Illus has joined us, so GG.
GG.
Man, that was a tough seed.
Pretty much. Should have practiced my Swordless Ganon a bit better, I guess. though that combination was like, at first I did not have enough potions and all that, then I forgot that I need money for the silvers, and it was quite a mess at the end, but since I had lost, I figured then that I could take my sweet time.
Yeah. Yeah, and that Turtle Rock was unfortunate. You and Elm both did the same thing where you needed one more key in Turtle Rock. And yeah, it was unfortunate you weren't able to use that mirror portal.
Yeah, I was aware that in Retro, the Yaga Tower has 2 items, and I banked on the Fire Rod being in there, but it was not, so I had to suffer later.
Yeah, Fire Rod and Ice Rod in Turtle Rock. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Well, it's Retro, or in Retro/Sanity, that's definitely possible, so I should have been more open about going to Turtle Rock. Yeah, but I was kind of busy, like, dealing with the seed and trying to get through, because Swordless Heart is not something I have done very often. I think I did well in the first, I don't know, 90 minutes or so, but my concentration was wavering.
I think you were in the lead probably right up until Elm went into Swamp to get the Titan's Mitts earlier than you did. And once he got that, and then got the hook shot, and then started getting a whole bunch of items.
Yeah, it took me quite a long time to get through Eastern Palace and Port. Like, I was really hoping to find Fire Rod or maybe Lamp to not make this take a lot of time. Like, you couldn't use Ether in Turtle Room because you don't have a sword, and you had to use Cane of Samaria or Boomerang or whatever to orient yourself in dark rooms, and it was quite an interesting and fun experience actually, but it took quite a while as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, so how are you feeling about so the group stages?
I
think you're
with that,
unfortunately sort of eliminated, but
yeah, pretty much. But my goal was never really to advance. Like, of course, I set myself that goal, and I try to beat other runners. But what's most important for me was that I have a really decent showing, and that I have fun with those settings, and also that if it happens that I advance, then it's good. But Elm is apparently better than me.
Well, you do have 4 wins, so I mean, this is a strong tournament. So, that's pretty good showing.
Oh yeah, thank you. I plan to win more. Like, I'm not stopping because I'm basically eliminated. I want to have as good score as possible.
Yeah.
This is a really strong group. I don't think anyone in the group is particularly exceptionally good, but we're all not too far away from each other in skill, so it's been pretty chaotic.
Yeah, I would say we're all pretty good. Not top tier runners like, I don't know, Andy or something, but we're really good, and it's kind of interesting that we were jumbled up together in one group, and it's part of why the group stages have been pretty fun. Every match is kind of nerve-wracking and interesting, I would say.
So there is another match here coming up soon, so we should probably get this wrapped up. Do either of you have any last comments?
Oh, this was an incredible combination because hard retro is bad because it removes keys from the pool. Retro swordless is bad because you have to use silvers on Ganon and pay 200 rupees. And swordless hard is bad because it's swordless hard. So
I get the feeling that retro is more fun to watch than to play.
I mean, retro normal's fine. I don't mind it at all. It's like an alt key sanity sort of. It's just when you have it in combination with things like this that it's bad.
Bot, please stop giving me hard retro. Thanks. And
Zelgadison actually picked hard retro Zelgadison actually picked hard retro for his game 2 against me. So.
Oh wow. Let's see how that one goes. I want to say that Dracarys, I'm coming for you on Friday.
Oh, please beat him. That would help me a lot.
Yeah, you had 3-0 against me, so good job, I guess. I'm planning to not lose the next time we face each other. Maybe I win by 10 minutes or so next time.
I think I might just stop joining weeklies.
All right.
And yeah, thanks guys for commentating.
Yeah, thanks for playing. GG to both of you. That was a really fun race to watch.
Yeah, GG's.
But we got to wrap up because the next race actually is starting in 10 minutes from now. That is Dark Shadows 59 versus Act the Boker, and that'll be a standard swordless. So lots of swordless today. So yeah, stay tuned if you want to watch that. It's on this same channel. And also keep in mind to follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6, as well as ALTTP Randomizer and ALTTP Randomizer 2 through 5 to make sure that you catch as much action as you can from this tournament. And Synack, did you have any final thoughts?
No. Thank you so much for your races. It was fun commentating it. I'm not sure if you guys had as much fun playing it, but we look forward to seeing the remainder of your races.
All right. We're going to sign off now. So, yeah, like I said, stay tuned if you want to watch that next match. But have a good afternoon.
Yep, good afternoon.